Welcome back to Almost Engineering. If you guys are new here, we have been building this Power Wheels tank into this ultimate monster. It's got 100 horsepower, fully custom tracks that we've redesigned twice, but the only thing we haven't touched is the weapon system. So this week, we are giving this cannon a potato launcher and taking an electric power washer and turning it into a homemade flamethrower. Okay, so for our cannon, we have this tire bead seater that's going to be converted into a potato launcher. And then for our flamethrower, I got this electric power washer, battery powered, batteries over on the side charging, and this just clips into the front. This bottom nozzle connects to a garden hose, which will be plumbed to some type of can with diesel in it. This will stick out the body, and then we'll have a torch, a propane torch that'll be lit underneath it. So it'll just catch fire as this sprays the diesel forward. Before we can do any of that, I've been driving on all of my test drives with handlebars that are not affixed to the tank at all. So I stole the handlebars off a snowmobile that's been junked for a while. So we're gonna build some handlebars. That way, when I start wheeling, I can actually hold on and I can make some controls for all of these weapons on the handlebars themselves. So I'm not really a fan of how these handlebars are shaped. They're off a snowmobile, so they're really like bent backwards. And what I was using before is just a straight piece of steel tube. So I don't want to end up like I'm a chopper like I'm riding a chopper. And if I have them like this, the throttles are gonna be hitting my knees and it's gonna be in the way of the potato launcher. I just don't like how bent these are. They feel so much more bent than any handlebars I've ever used in my life.
Well, you could bend them back, can't you?
I could also just cut them apart and make them the way I want them. I want them to be sitting kind of like this because, God forbid, I get ejected. I don't want my body to slam into these metal handlebars. I'd rather be able to just shoot, get clearly shot out of it like I did last time. I'm gonna make it two separate handles that come up like this, one on each side. We'll have tubing that welds down, and the handlebar will sit like this, and we'll have the throttle here, maybe the on-off switch above it like that, and then one on this side as well. There's no way that my knees are gonna hit that, completely out of the way from being ejected, and this is where naturally my hands wanna be while I'm driving. If you look at any of the old footage with the handlebar, I'm like this. And this is where it feels comfortable. If I'm overextended like that, every time I hit a bump, my lower back is gonna be shot. I wanna be braced into all the plastic, so this handlebar configuration like this on the side, I think is the best bet. Okay, so this is the little electric pressure washer that I got off Amazon. It's supposed to have like 1500 PSI, and it has a little attachment for the garden hose and this little bottle. So this actually just clips on right on here. So I want to do a little bit of a proof of concept to make sure this actually works as a flamethrower before I build it and install it in the tank. When we have it mounted in the tank, this bottle will be up higher and there'll be a hose connecting it. But for this test, I think I have to have the bottle upside down.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
That's what I thought was good the whole time.
Oh my God.
So we just got back from the parts store and we've got everything we need to put together the potato launcher. This is the original thing that came off the tire bead seater. So this is 1-inch threaded pipe. Got a bunch of adapters here that thread into each other and scale it up to 1.5 inch, which then turns into PVC, and then our barrel becomes PVC.
Pretty cool.
We'll sharpen the end with a grinder, and then you just shove a potato down the end, put it all the way to the bottom, and then fill this with air from the air compressor, and you should just be able to press this valve and it should launch the potato pretty far. So we'll do it straight barreled, get a gauge for what the range is like this, then we'll start assembling one with all the angles to see where that gets us. Okay, we got the whole potato launcher assembled here. As you can see, I forgot to get a smaller 1-inch pipe that's threaded on either end, so we had to use one of the longer ones that we'll use when we make it wrap around, but that should be okay for the test. We sharpened the end, and we're gonna use this potato. So we're gonna shove this down there, fill this up with compressed gas, and see how well it works. It went all the way to the woods. So we're gonna see it actually make contact with something. Use one of these trees out here. I was thinking about different things to hit, and really anything besides a tree we're gonna actually cause damage. So maybe we'll attack one of the like junk machines when it's actually on the tank.
Oh! Oh my God. That was crazy.
That was violent. It just blew apart.
It blew apart on the tree.
Let's do some tests with making the bends in this and see how well it performs then. Obviously, these distances are longer than what it's going to be. Whatever result we get from this test is going to be worse than what it will actually be when we mount it on there. When I go to mount it on there, if this works, I'm just going to cut this, weld it in the middle, and then cut this to length and weld it in the middle. And then also, because this is steel pipe, because we could have done this all out of 1-inch PVC, this is going to give me mounting points to actually secure this up to the frame. I don't know how good of an idea that is, but I can't imagine that it's going to cause any problems.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it should work good, especially once we actually get these lengths figured out. Okay, we're at 80 PSI. I'm gonna leave it on the ground like this and just launch it with that. 3, 2, 1. I say that works perfectly.
Yeah.
Launched it over that massive tree. There's literally no loss of velocity or pressure or anything. That was sick. 3, 2, 1, go.
It's
That's
hitting the
so
same
sick.
exact.
Yeah, it's
place.
hitting just as far. Okay, that's really cool. We can take this apart and actually start putting it on the machine now. We actually added the handlebars yesterday, and we haven't taken it for a test drive since we've added those. And I think they're gonna make a really big improvement overall with how I can accelerate and decelerate. So I wanna take this for a test drive before I do all the work of putting that on there to see how well these handlebars worked out. So if you notice, we actually have all polyurethane wheels, and we have the longer 1/2-inch bolts going through, so none of the wheels are held on by cantilever. They should all be really strong, and hopefully the track is much smoother now because we're not going to be burning through rubber wheels. It's so terrible.
That's really beating you up, Jesus.
It seems so scary. The wheels are holding up way better than the rubber ones. We were just turning like crazy high speeds, and we would have gone through like 2 sets already with how fast the rubber ones got eaten up. The handlebars are good. It's nice being able to hold myself in there. When I go to decel now, instead of all my weight going forward and my shins being hit, I can like brace myself on the handlebars. Let's go finish adding the weapons. Okay guys, it is a brand new day here, and there's a couple things I did off camera that I want to walk you through. So the first thing is we have our air tank mounted. We've got some tabs welded on the bottom, this nice tube on the bottom that's connected to those tabs with some bolts. And then from there, tube going to the part of the frame that holds up our Power Wheels body. We also went ahead and changed our sprocket size. So we went from a 43 tooth to a 30 tooth, and then we added these chain tensioners in here, bunch of holes so I can select the different chain tensions if we need to make the sprocket bigger or smaller. It should work out pretty good. I think that having the smaller sprocket sizes is gonna be really helpful. It's gonna give the motors less of a mechanical advantage. So acceleration shouldn't be as hard, and deceleration, which is even more important, shouldn't be as hard, because when I'm trying to control this thing, I'm just using my thumbs and fingers, and I'm the slightest bit off, it is punishing when I'm driving this. I end up stopping completely, and it beats me up really bad. The last thing, so I went to Harbor Freight and I picked up this pressure washer. This end here is much longer than the other one we had. The other one probably went to about here. So when we'd stick that through this port here, it would only come to about here, which gave us no room to mount the blowtorch beneath it. The new one sticks out to roughly right around here, which gives us a ton of room. That way we can mount this blowtorch down here. So with all that being said, I'm gonna start mounting up the piping for our cannon, and then I'm gonna work on mounting the blowtorch and the pressure washer. That way we have a flamethrower and a potato cannon, and then we'll take some test drives and go destroy some stuff, because that's what a tank is meant to do. Okay, so first things first, we're gonna work on this tubing. Obviously, it needs to come out, make a right angle, go straight across, and then up. and the distance between here and here is really short. So rather than cutting down one of those big 24-inch sections of piping and then welding it back together, I'm just gonna use one of these smaller 1-inch tubes, and that's probably gonna give us the exact right dimension we need, and then we don't need to do any finagling. All right, so the plan is to make this 21 inches in length exactly. So we need to cut this, chop out about 3 inches of length, weld it back together. Okay, so as I said earlier, we got this new pressure washer. It's from Harbor Freight, and the end is much longer, so let me show you how it fits in here. Comes down right through there, and then it just perfectly tucks up in here. We're gonna use some like zip ties, very sophisticated mounts to hold this end up. So believe it or not, I actually fit perfectly in here. My shins are just out of the way of this handle. The bottle that holds the fuel is just forward of my shin on this side also. What we need to do, that is probably the most important part, is actually building the mount for the torch. This is gonna sit down here. So we need a way of holding this canister, which will have the torch end on the end of it like that. And then once we have a way of holding this canister, that'll be welded to this frame with probably steel tubing that just comes out here like that. So I've got 2 pieces of scrap steel. This I used for mounting the sprockets. It gave me bolt holes. So I'm gonna try to reuse this. And then I've got this ring here that I don't even know where it came from, but it is actually like the perfect size diameter for this. So what my plan is, this is gonna sit in the bottom here, which will hold it from sliding down and probably be the point that welds onto the frame. And then this piece is gonna be up here somehow. And I think I'm gonna cut one side of this, and then these 2 rings will be independent. And I'll have a bolt that pinches on this side and a bolt that pinches on this side. And then there'll just be 2 pieces of flat bar that are welded to this, and they come down and weld to that. And that way it'll be able to pry apart just a little bit, pull the bottle out, and then you'll be able to put the next bottle in, go down, put the bolt, and then clamp it nice and tight. All right guys, we've got the power wheels all ready to go. We've got the flamethrower mounted, we got our blowtorch mounted, and we've got the potato launcher finished up. So we're gonna see how well these weapons actually work. We set up our Harley-Davidson 3-wheeler build over there that we're gonna use as a test dummy. We're basically done with it because we flipped it and we did a bunch of other stuff to it. So if you wanna see that build, it's linked in the description. But we're gonna use it to see how well our weapons actually work. This is so sick. I feel like I'm in an actual tank right now. That works remarkably well.
Baby. Oh my God.
Thank God I was wearing a helmet. Oh man. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Clearly, we should have made the tracks longer, like everyone said. And reduced the regen braking. It was working really good there for a second. This is my knee. This is where my knee hit. Oof.
Oh.
It's a debris field.
The cannon.
Man, I don't know. You know what it was? I've been up to like a decent speed before in this, but we changed the sprockets. So the speed that position on the throttle normally gets me was much slower than this speed because we've reduced the sprocket size so much. So it let us wheelie, but it also made it so dangerous that the second I let off, I got ejected really hard. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you guys next week with a brand new build. Should be pretty awesome too. So thank you guys for watching.